What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great time. So today we are going to talk a little bit about the OBS, the axle swap, the power steering, everything that I've been doing to it lately up to this point. And I'm going to try and answer a bunch of your questions. So let's get right to it. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with the power steering because I didn't fully finish it, so it's kind of like done. I worked on it last night. I didn't record it because it was just kind of finishing stuff from the last video that it was kind of either really hard to show or just kind of pointless. But let me show you what I did get done. I got the cooler installed. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like its final mounting point, but it's installed. And basically what I did is, at first I was thinking of maybe like running those kind of like clips that you run through the radiator to hold it in place, but I didn't find any. So what I did is that I actually used its feet that it already came with to mount it to the I think it's like the grill or the core support for the grill. And it's actually pretty solid. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's gonna get pretty good airflow too, or at least decent. It's gonna be kind of like around where the bumper's at, so we'll see how that works. We got the lines routed. I got a new line. I got about 6 feet of line, and I actually used it all. It was like the perfect amount of line. And again, the rounding's not like permanent or finished. It's just temporary for now to make sure that I like it and that it's gonna work. Also, you're probably not gonna be able to see anything down there, but I got most of the lines tight. The only one that I still don't have tight is the one going to the actual power steering pump, because it's pretty hard to get angled. You have to like get at it from the bottom, and it's like super tight. So I didn't bother with that one too much. But everything else is basically tight. I have it all ran to the reservoir. Again, both lines. And I think it'll work pretty good. I also got my little adapter bracket painted. That's the one that's gonna go right. Okay. My bad. So that's the one that's gonna go right there, and that's gonna hold this bracket for the reservoir. So that's painted, that's done. And basically all that I have left for the power steering system is to fill it up, bleed it, and make sure that I don't have any leaks. But it should be done. At least I'm hoping that it's done. We also have to throw obviously our belt back on, the intercooler pipe, and we'll be basically done with the engine side of things. Now, to kind of get to the the actual part of this video that I wanted to talk about, and that's going to be actually answering some of you guys' questions. I have been getting a whole bunch of questions from you guys since I started doing this build, and I'm going to try and remember most of the questions that I've gotten, at least the more frequently asked question. And it's not gonna be easy because I have a horrible memory and I basically forget everything, and I didn't actually write anything down, so I'm gonna be doing this all off of the top of my head. So forgive me if I do miss any, and this would be a great time for you guys to leave me any more questions down below that you would like me to go over in a separate video. So basically, to start off, my wheel and tire combo. So my wheels are Methods. I believe they are the Method NV305. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are. And they are in a 18/10 with a -18 offset. And I love the way that these wheels look on the truck. They look amazing. And they are wrapped in a Arturo Trail Blade MT 35/12.5. These tires are super nice. They are like super aggressive looking. I love the way they look. Like, this combo looks amazing, and it's really hard to show you guys the way that this truck looks with these wheels being in the garage. So once I can actually take it out, I'll make like a proper video showing them off, but I love the way they look. And I also love the stands that they have. Again, it's really hard to show on video, but to me, they stick out the perfect amount, at least for the look that I am trying to go for with this truck. And not just the look, for what I'm actually trying to do with this truck, because I do want to take this thing like off-road, camping and stuff like that. So that's also why I went with this wheel and tire combo instead of doing like, I did think about maybe doing like a 20 by 12 on a, you know, wider offset, like a negative 44, because I do like that style. I think it looks great. But again, I want to try and use this thing off-road a little bit more. I think that'll be way more fun. So again, that's my wheel and tire setup. Now, another question that I've been getting a lot is the drive shafts. How did that work out? And basically on my truck, I have the OBS drive shaft. That's the stock drive shaft. What I did to make it work is I got a conversion U-joint for this thing. And I don't remember the exact U-joint that is, but I will look that up and I'll leave a part number for it right here, as well as I'll leave you guys a link down below in the description, so you guys can go and pick it up if you do want one for yourself, as well as I'll link the video to where I installed that part, so you can go and look at that, so you can get a better idea of how I did that, as well as on the front. Again, the front is the stock OBS drive shaft with a conversion. No, actually no, on this one my axle didn't come with a yoke, so I got an OBS yoke for it. So it was just actually direct bolt-in deal. But if your truck does come with the Super Duty yoke, all you have to do is also get a conversion U-joint for it, and you'll be good. Again, I'll leave you guys a link to that U-joint over here and in the description, so you guys can go and pick that out. Again, that should be a bolt-in deal. Some guys have said though that they have to shorten their drive shaft. On my truck, it bolted right in, and they had plenty of trouble going back and going forward. So I think mine will be fine. So the next question that I get is actually probably my most asked question when it comes to this swap, and that is if you can 05 Plus swap a two-wheel drive OBS. And the short answer is yes, of course you can do this swap to a two-wheel drive truck. But a lot of guys ask me that question, more or less saying that if you can do this swap and keep your truck two-wheel drive. Again, obviously you can do it, but it really makes no sense, and you're just basically not wasting money but you could be spending it smarter, in my opinion. The only way that it would make sense to do this is if you were planning to four-wheel drive swap your truck as well, which that is a whole nother can of worms right there. But in short, yes, you can 05 Plus swap your two-wheel drive OBS. You just also have to convert it to four-wheel drive. But if you are looking to swap it just to lift your truck, there are actually lift kits for your two-wheel drive truck that will be much cheaper, and I think will be a better option than doing this swap. Again, unless you're actually planning on 4x4 swapping it. And the last couple of questions have to do with time and money. So money, how much have I spent so far on this? And honestly guys, I never kept track of it. I don't like keeping track of that stuff. Like, I have the receipts and everything, and my wife, she's amazing. She keeps track of all that stuff for me, and if I asked her, she would probably know. But basically just the axles, like the rolling chassis that I bought, I believe that was $1,500, I believe. So that was quite a bit of change, but I don't think it was that bad, especially because I've seen just the front axle go for at least that, if not more. So I got the, like I said, the rolling chassis from, it was like a 09, 010, the truck. So I got the rolling chassis, both front and rear axle, and basically all the parts that I needed to swap. I got that, but I bought the track bar bracket off of Absolute Customs, and then I also got the lift kit. So the bracket was $200, $250. The lift kit was like $500. Oh, I also did the power steering. Yeah, I think in total I spent like $200 on the power steering. And then wheels and tires, that was about $1,900. Let's see, what else have I spent money on? The entire rebuild for the axles, that was pretty expensive too. That probably might have been like at least $500, if not more. So yeah, I spent quite a bit of change on this thing already, and I've tried doing everything the cheapest way possible, because you can do this a lot faster but also a lot more expensive, and that would be by getting a whole kit to swap your axles over from like RYD. I believe Sky also came out with the kit. Absolute also has their kit, but you're looking at like at least like another $1,500 to like $2,000 more for that kit. So again, the way that I did it is the cheapest way, but it requires a lot more DIYing from your end, which is still pretty easy. And that brings me to my next point, and probably the last point. I don't want this video to run too long because it's just me talking, and it'll explain why I'm doing this video. Time. If you guys have kept track of this, like right now, today is June 14th. Sunday, June 14th. I have spent the better part of this entire year working on this thing, when most guys get this done in like a week or a weekend. One, I only work on this thing a few hours a week, like maybe 3, 4, 5 hours if I'm lucky, and that's because I have a full-time job right now, out of town. I got my neighbor coming on his Harley, so we're gonna take a break because that thing is freaking loud and badass. And we're back. So again, I work out of town most of the week, or all week. I only come back on Saturday nights, and most of the time, one, I'm really tired because I'm working down in Phoenix and it is hot, like super hot. I work long hours, and all I want to do is come home and relax, hang out with the family. Like right now, I've got my family in the house, just chilling, and that's kind of what I did this weekend. You know, I wanted to spend time with them, with the family. I did get some work done on this thing. Like I said, I worked for like an hour on it last night, got most of the power steering figured out, and I was gonna work on it today too, but we were having a lot of fun, you know, and I didn't want to stop what I was doing to work on this thing. I do believe that you have to have, you know, priorities in your life, and I wanted to spend some time, you know, with my wife, my family. It's, you know, you guys understand. So that's basically why I've been taking so long with this thing. Well, one, because I didn't just do the axle swap. I started rebuilding the axles, front and back, and then I'm also doing the power steering. So I'm doing quite a few things, not just the axle swap. But I do believe if I was to do this again, and if I wasn't recording, because recording actually, believe it or not, takes quite a bit of time. You know, setting up all the angles, the camera, the lighting. I have to have that thing, you know, making sure that illuminating what I'm doing so you guys can actually see the video and it's not just black. So yeah, it takes some time, but it's all right, because part of the fun with this is for me to record it and show it to you guys, because I really do love making these videos, and hopefully one day this can be my job, and that's kind of what I'm trying to work towards. That's why even if I'm away, I still want to at least do a video a week for you guys. Again, hopefully one day we can get to the point where I have a shop that I can go to and work on this thing, and hopefully on a whole bunch of other projects that I have in mind, and have videos for you, you know, like at least every other day. But yeah, hopefully I got some information out to you guys. I know that I missed a whole bunch of questions. And again, leave them down below. Leave questions that you want me to go over on this thing so that I can answer them. And maybe, you know, would you guys like doing a Q&A with me? I know I'm not very interesting, but if you guys would like that, you know, I'll be down for it. You know, you can leave me questions down below. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Again, check out the links down below for some of the parts, the U-joints and all that. And again, leave comment, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you guys in the next one.